eventually you fall off, and then you're just like, oh, well, that's always like, it never goes well. I can never do it. Why bother? Whereas if you do something more manageable and realistic and understand that you're gonna have periods where you fall off a little and that you just get back. I recently watched a video of Jessica from the How to ADHD channel, and she was talking about her experience with exercise and all the barriers that she faces and how those types of struggles can obviously affect everyone, but be a little bit more intense for those with ADHD. I related to pretty much everything she said in the video. I wanted to share this video talking about my experience with ADHD and fitness and how, despite the struggles, I've managed to make fitness into something that I love and am good at. It did not come easy to me though. I spent years and years gaining and losing weight because I just couldn't figure out a routine that could last for me, that I could keep doing, that worked long term. Now, this is not to say any particular body type is bad, because it's not about how I looked, it's about how I felt. I just felt like crap. I felt sluggish, lethargic, and my confidence was just really low, partially because I was frustrated in myself. Like, I had a goal, I wanted to be able to work out consistently, and I couldn't do it. So obviously that weighs in on your confidence, which is a big issue for many people with ADHD, unfortunately. So one of the barriers that Jessica talked about was lack of time.
There's also time. Anyone can not have time to work out, but those with ADHD often have to work longer hours to accomplish the same things.
You know in Harry Potter how Hermione has that watch thing? I haven't seen it in a long time, so I may be butchering the explanation, but she has the watch thing and it gets her like extra time, like her hours last longer because she can like redo the hour. Yeah, some people when they say how fast they get things done, I'm like 99% sure they have that and I don't. And I'm like, why can't I have that? So anyways, that meant for me that figuring out exercise in conjunction with trying to be a trainer and run my business, I had to figure out something that was quicker because I could not maintain it. But partially because I was working out longer than necessary. I feel like with fitness these days, like say if you follow mainstream like fitness influencers, most people have quite long workouts and they work out a lot. Most of them work out 5 times a week, some even 6. And I just thought, okay, like that's what I'll do. But as I got older and as I got busier, I couldn't find the time for that, first of all. And second of all, I couldn't find the energy. Like I would just get so low energy, which is something we'll touch on in a little bit, the energy aspect. I know struggling with energy levels is a huge thing for many people, but yeah, you don't need to exercise for a really long time. I work out 4 times a week and like I do my weight training 4 times a week and then I get 15K steps a day. Now for me, I get that by walking and working on my treadmill. I have my laptop on, this can balance on my treadmill so I can just slowly walk and work. And for me, that just helps me focus a lot, except for when it doesn't, because you know, sometimes something works and sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it helps me focus a lot, which is why I get 15K steps. I'm not saying everyone has to get 15K steps, by the way, but you know, healthy levels of activity can help. And your workouts don't have to be that long. An hour is sufficient, especially if you're starting out. You could work out 2 to 3 times a week for half an hour and slowly build from there. That leads us into the energy level aspect barrier. I know Jessica mentioned this.
Just the mental effort of battling our own brains every day, trying to focus and trying to remember what we put where and what we did with what, it's exhausting.
Sometimes we just feel more exhausted because it's tiring having ADHD. Like my brain some days, like especially if I have like if I have a stressful morning or just upsetting, whatever, I will feel drained physically like you wouldn't believe. Like some weeks in the gym I'll be really strong and some I'm crazy weak, and a lot of it can depend on my stress levels. So if you are also feeling really low energy, don't think, oh, I have to go to the gym and do like an intense hardcore workout. No, on those types of days or weeks or whatever, scale it back a lot. And that's been hard for me to accept because I like feeling strong, I like improving, and over the grand scheme of things, you do want to try to be getting stronger, but certain days you're gonna have to majorly pull back. Some weeks I can barbell lunge 115 pounds for 8 reps. Other weeks, I have to do like 70 pounds. That's a really big weight difference. I'll feel sore really easily from my workouts too. I'll do a lighter workout, I'll make it shorter, I'll make it easier, but I'll still be really sore the next day. And I'm like, holy crap, how is this possible? Mental exhaustion absolutely impacts your recovery for your workouts. So if you're feeling exceptionally stressed and you're feeling weaker in the gym, that's why. Don't beat yourself up about it, just accept it, take it easy, don't beat I said beat yourself up again. What I'm trying to say is just because you're someone who works out on a regular basis doesn't mean all those workouts need to be like, really hard, intense workout. Before we continue on with the video, I have a super quick thing I wanted to ask you guys. I'm currently conducting research for a project I'm working on, and it's about professional women with ADHD who are struggling to balance their fitness goals while they're working towards their career goals, while they're balancing their busy life. So if that description fits you, I would love to talk to you on a call. In the description box below, there's a link to my Calendly, so you can go on that, find a time that works for you. If none of the times work for you, reach out and let me know. Back to the video. Another barrier that Jessica brought up that I can definitely relate to is a lot of us since childhood have kind of developed beliefs that we can't accomplish things or that we're not as good at things.
Those of us with ADHD often develop really early a sense that we're not good at stuff.
And obviously that kind of affects your confidence quite a bit. So for some people, you want to start working out, but your confidence, so it's like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to look stupid? Blah, 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 blah. All those kinds of negative self-talk. And she actually mentioned something about how, she said, like, I know it doesn't apply to everyone, but she said a lot of ADHD people are really bad at team sports.
A lot of ADHDers don't really do well in team sports because we develop differently. Our brains develop differently, and so we're a little bit clumsy and awkward and not as graceful as our peers.
I did not know that was a thing. Like, I'm decently coordinated in some aspects. Like, I did dance, team sports. Oh, nightmare. I would go home crying in elementary school when I had to do gym class because I was so bad at it, and I would get like bullied for how much I sucked. I actually got into working out because I didn't want to do gym class in high school, so I opted for a workout class instead, and then I was like, I kind of like this.
It's easy for for content creators to look like, oh yeah, like this is all easy for us, and it's not. I don't think working out regularly is easy for anybody, and it's certainly not easy for those of us with ADHD.
I definitely still have days where I'm 0% motivated to work out. I have to work out after this, and I'm not the most motivated to do it. I'll start thinking about my workout and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm way too tired to do that. And I'll think of all the exercises that I'm gonna do and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so tiring. Oh, that weight, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And it's like, okay, don't think about all the things. Just get in there, do your warm-up, start with a little something. And if you're feeling tired, feel free to pull back or even just stop the workout if you're feeling like really terrible. I even have days sometimes where my focus is just not good. My mind is everywhere during the workout. So I'll be doing an exercise that has a lot of different complicated things to think about. Like, let's say a deadlift, you have to think of so many different things: your neck, your shoulders, your back, your core, your glutes, like literally your full body. And my brain just can't wrap around it all, and I'm just like all over the place, and I'm thinking of this, and then I'm like, oh wait, I forgot about that and this. So even after lifting for almost 10 years and mastering the form, still some days my brain is just like, no, I can't think of those things. That's too, no, I don't understand. Those little things make a big difference, so then I'll feel a lot weaker, of course. Just another random weird thing that you wouldn't think would be a thing, but is a thing. My first tip is to focus on making small improvements. I'm having a really hard time saying that today. Making small improvements from where you're currently at, not where someone else is at. So if you don't do any workouts at all, starting with just a couple walks a week or two just 20-minute workouts a week is a good start, and you slowly build from there whenever you feel you're able to increase. My second tip is to track your workouts, especially if you're new. You're gonna improve really quickly, and that's gonna be motivating to see yourself getting stronger, and that's a huge thing I recommend focusing on for progress. How you're seeing yourself get stronger, feeling better, things like that, not the scale. There's so many other benefits to working out and fitness that are not at all to do with losing weight. So please remember that, because not remembering that really sets you back, and you still will lose weight if that's your goal, but focus on the other things and then the weight loss will come. Third tip is to know that while a routine is important for progressing, sometimes you gotta do something else. Like if I'm having a really off day and I just can't do my workout. I've had days where I feel really shitty and then I start working out and I feel even worse. Like I've started crying and crying more during my workout. In that case, I'm like, okay, let's go for a hike or something. So maybe you'll try out a little bit of your workout, you'll warm up, it's not going well, okay, let's go for a hike or a walk or some yoga, I don't know, whatever you enjoy. Like switch to something you enjoy if you're feeling that way. Or if you even realize, okay, I'm really exhausted, then don't even do something active. Just go read a book, lie down, take a nap, something like that, you know? So, and again, that doesn't mean, oh my gosh, the week is ruined because I missed this workout. It just means I'm feeling really low energy and I needed to take care of myself in a different way. And the fourth tip, I did mention this in a previous tip, but it's so important, it still has to have its own tip. Look at it as something you do for your mental health and well-being rather than just your physical aesthetic appearance. Obviously, like there's nothing wrong with having aesthetic goals, and those can be like nice fun benefits to see as well, but only if that's a mentally healthy thing for you, because fitness is so much, the mental aspect is just as important as the physical. Don't get so caught up in being like, oh my god, this has to be perfect, I have to do this and I have to do that, because then eventually you fall off and then you're just like, oh well, that's always like, it never goes well, I can never do it, why bother? Whereas if you do something more manageable and realistic and understand that you're gonna have periods where you fall off a little and that you just get back on again, then that's gonna help you maintain it as a lifestyle and not just something like, oh, I do this, I hyper focus on this for a little bit and then I stop, and then I do it again and then I stop. Like that's how it felt for me for the longest time. So just understand that the amounts you're doing your fitness, like that can fluctuate. Some parts of the year maybe you'll work out more, sometimes less, that it's a lifestyle and it doesn't have to be all or nothing. My last video was all about the all or nothing mindset. Sorry, I was thirsty. It was about the all or nothing mindset. If that's something you struggle with, I definitely recommend checking that out. So that'll be in the description box below. Yeah, this video was a little bit all over the place. I think partially because it is kind of like the first time I've outright talked about this as a video, and I was like, oh god, this is like anxiety, nerve-wracking, and all of this is kind of just scratching the surface. There's definitely a lot more detail and things I could go into. So if you have any questions, if there's something else you struggle with or something you want me to expand on, please let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!